Alright, I hope y'all are having a great day today, but I did want to make a video going over the recent insane event that had a crazy amount of money and XP you can get from it. And on top of that, you could probably get a crazy amount of parts. Not gonna lie here, guys, I basically did not do the entire event at all until Tuesday night. And I was like, you know what, let me jump in and try this around for an hour. So I jumped in around like 5:30 in the afternoon and did it for 1 hour. I actually got around 1.5 million XP and who knows how much money, but it was probably close. And I have to say, that was probably one of the craziest, like, I guess you could say, money methods ever. And I would probably say that's why they most likely patched it in 1 week or, disabled all of the main rewards from it until they can fix it. We can all agree, guys, like right now, that that was most likely going to happen quick. But I am going to admit something right now. Wasn't that insanely fast in the way they actually did it? Now, I do know a lot of players are probably going to pop in and go, well, hold on a minute, Block. Like, if they can fix something like this or disable it, why can't they fix other stuff in the game? Which I kind of have to admit is a pretty valid question. But here's the thing though, yeah, we do know the event was giving out a crazy amount of money and XP per hour. Like, not even kidding, guys, you can do the event in around 40 to 60 seconds, which is also a minute. Not sure why I said 60 seconds. Like when someone tells you their dog is 43 weeks old, like, dude, just tell me how old it is. But nonetheless, though, I would say, like, being able to get $1.5 million or like 1.5 million XP an hour is going to be a bit on the crazy side. Like, don't get me wrong, I do understand people want to get as much money in XP and, like, buy as many vehicles as they can, but getting around $1.5 million from a single event that in a lot of ways probably wasn't even going to be designed around the aspect that you could skip it, or at least they probably did it and they were like, oh, people are going to find this out. Maybe we'll fix it after, and it does turn out a week after. They obviously did. But doing that, though, an easy way to fix the mission is to, of course, not use skip the entire thing. I was actually laughing the fact that you could legit drive through every field, pretty much go down to a road, then go into a ravine, and then boom, the end of the race is basically a big loop. That is kind of hilarious to me how they did that. On this, though, you can obviously make it so you have to stay on the road. The second you go off course, it can then put you back to where you have to go. That way, you can't skip the entire event. That is probably going to be the way to do it, but doing this, a lot of players are not going to grind the race out with it taking around 3 to 4 minutes and getting around 30 to $40,000, or 25,000 XP from 4 to 5 minutes isn't that great. So I would probably say a lot of players found this event and they were probably like, yes, finally, I can actually make a lot of money and get a lot of cars and stuff. And a lot of players who couldn't do it or probably found it like I did on Tuesday, even though I kind of felt a bit bad doing that. Like, I didn't want to farm the exact same event and make like 50 million XP or something like that, or even at the same time, I did not want to do the exact same event for 7 to 8 hours, even though it pays good. I already have a good amount of money in the game from doing like all the part sets and stuff like that, and doing all the challenges and doing grand races, so I didn't have to do that event. But at least it was a good way for me to get XP, which I do get, guys. Like, I have to admit this right now, they really should increase the money and XP you get from the events. I would say right now they can easily all be increased, even if it's just a bit. On top of that, make the legend points a bit higher. I have a video coming out this in a couple of days, because I really do feel like the legend point, or like the entire system, really does need some type of change when it comes to the points, and a lot of players are going to be looking for like a better way to make money. So this event here was probably going to be fairly similar to some of the skills before, to where you can basically keep doing it. And my goodness, guys, making around 28,000 XP in like almost 40k in around 40 to 50 seconds is absolutely insane. So like, I kind of understand why they had to nerf it, or at least, end up changing the mission around before so they can actually fix it. Now, I did want to mention something, as I did say before, though, like, yeah, they did obviously patch it, so a lot of players are most likely going to come in and go, wait a second, why can't y'all fix some of the other issues, like, why can't I join my friends, or why does my PS4 keep crashing? And those are most likely very valid questions, and I have to admit, I really can understand where people are coming from. But at the same time, guys, I also understand how hard it would actually be to fix some of the issues in the games. Like, I do know it's probably a lot deeper than looking at one of the problems and going, oh, that's going to be changed, and there we go, poof, it's all fixed. Like, I'm sure it's probably going to be a lot deeper in the coding and stuff like that. I don't know a ton about that stuff, but I would guess it probably is a lot harder than it looks. Or I would say a lot of these people are probably looking into it. And a good way to look at this, though, is probably going to come down to the mission itself. Like, yes, you can obviously do it in 40 seconds, and then you can make a crazy amount of money, XP, and also parts from it. So, like, why not jump in with any of your vehicles and go after part sets? So one of the easier ways to do this is, instead of trying to put a patch out to fix it now, let's instead actually disable the rewards from the event. That way we can actually take a deeper look at it. And that was probably going to be the best and quickest solution to this. Like, I really do wish a lot of the issues in the game, like the crew joining issues before, or some of the weird bugs going on, like the PlayStation crashing. And even on PS5, I also crash once in a while, so like I do understand the frustration with it. But let's be honest here though, guys, they can't just disable the PlayStation like they were to be able to disable the event, or at least getting the rewards disabled until they fix it. And the crazy part though is Motorfest isn't the first game to do this either. Like, we also saw sometimes with like the guns or like optics in Call of Duty being disabled. I also remember seeing stuff like that with Destiny, so like it isn't going to be a new thing. And in some ways it is probably going to be a better way to fix issues like the event. Which, I hate to say this, but the event obviously should have been designed a bit better. Like, you probably shouldn't be able to cut the entire thing, like it should put you right back on the road, instead of being able to cut the entire event. Also, why is the end of the race right next to the starting point? That was a bit odd to me, how like you only have to travel over a few fields, go down into the river, and boom! You are right at the lovely outdoor movie. Like, that probably makes no sense how quick it was. And using pretty much any vehicles around 35 to 50 seconds. I actually went in with like a Renault or something like that, then jumped in with like a rally raid. Even used a hypercar and was like, wow, this is incredibly easy, I get it. And I also understand why everyone was most likely like, wait, don't patch it yet. But I had a feeling they were most likely going to have a hotfix, and boom, on Tuesday evening we did get something about the maintenance for it on Wednesday, which did indeed end up getting rid of the rewards until it was fixed. Overall though, guys, I would like to know your thoughts on this in the comments below. We all do know this is probably one of the craziest things in the game so far when it comes to money, XP, and being able to get parts insanely quick. Like, I would almost guess and say it probably was a lot better than the skills. I can't really quote that because I honestly did not grind the skills out. Can't really say they were good or not, but those are obviously going to be nerfed on top of it, so now you are forced to do events or grab like the crates and stuff like that, which I would almost guarantee a lot of players might not want to do it. But once again, guys, let me know what you think about this in the comments below, and hopefully they might end up changing the timer on the skills, and most likely increase the money and all the payouts on all the events.